Good day, humans. Good day, dear friends. Today's little chat is about creation. Yet, we all think that somebody else is guilty, or that somebody else is the one who be rewarded for the creation that we are and that we enjoy. Most of us, most of the humanity does not enjoy their own creation, simply because we kind of turn it around, because we're always blaming somebody else for the creation that we are part of or that we are experiencing. Why it's like this? Simple reason is because we are not taught that we are the responsible creators of our own experiences. We are the ones who are choosing what to do, what not to do, how to live. Do we choose to grow, or do we choose to hoard? Do we choose to be status quo or be still in the position where we're holding at the present time, or we are deciding to grow? But only to grow through wisdom, not through hoarding, or not through jealousy, not through competition. So today's title goes like this: the greatest mystical experience, the inner self-creation. Of course, it's very, call it rhetorical, yet I know that we all are mystics. Mystics in our own making. We are mystics in cooking, in writing, in blabbing, in deceiving. Yet we cannot create something that we don't believe in it. So as many people believe in many other things, or don't believe in many other things, these things will not be there for them if they don't believe it. But if they believe it, these things will become part of their creation. Even if they think the belief comes from the parent, from religion, from, I don't know, technology, scientists, and so on. Because they believed some time ago that Earth was flat. Then they believed that Earth was round. Then we believe that we are the only creatures in this vast universe. Now we're still pretending that we believe in this, yet nobody want to talk about aliens, or nobody want to talk about other civilizations. We simply live status quo of historical ignorance. Becoming mystic is the most simplest task. It's so simple when you allow yourself to be one. You're mystic if you're making a bed, or if you're cooking or baking a bread. Same thing, yet just a different angle. You can be very peaceful or joyful doing bed or doing bread, or you can be so stressed out because you don't have enough, doesn't matter, flour, or you don't have a clean sheets on the bed, and so on. So this, from the mystical experience, you're turning it into a very aggravated and very dark experience. So why we have been taught like this? Why we have been raised like this? Because we did not have self-confidence. We are always, as a child, every single one, if it's not traumatized in a very early age, it gets traumatized down the road in teenage age, or a bit later when they grow up. They're realizing they live some other lives. They're living lives of their parents. Parents send them into schools. Parents push them into direction the parents did not make it. So their children has to make it what the parent thinks that making means a success, that making means being the first, making means, kill all your enemies and the friends you don't have. So this was all based on outside input towards your inner experience. You're always taking experience of your parent, of your religious leader, of your government leader as something primary above your own choosing. So creation is not as complicated as anybody wanna represent. Creation is the one stream of energy coming from within and outside. No matter what you do, it's still creation is done from inside towards outside. Reason why is because you're the only one who creates environment for yourself. Same event could happen. There is a part of my short story in my second book about who cut you off. The story goes like this. You're driving aggravated on a highway, somebody is in front of you, they're beeping, and highway is 3 lanes, very congested. Suddenly you see the man goes so fast next to you, passing in front of you, and you brake and you still did not enough time to brake and you hit his back bumper and you damage your front light. You all get upset, very tense, and you're so yelling and angry following this man, and he's going passing other cars and suddenly going off the ramp. You are so mad and you're going and following him off the ramp. First, second street on the right, he's just doing another very crazy, very fast turn. The wheels are squeaking, you are honking after him, getting upset. Even more, because he doesn't want to stop. He make a damage on your beautiful new car and he's ignorant. You saw it's a male inside. So it must be somebody who's very, very nasty. So I'll show him. You go behind, following, and he's passing through the red light. You passing through the red light just to follow him, causing even more havoc on the streets. And suddenly, the man just goes in a big building and squeaking tires, braking, and you're going right after him, and you're braking right after him, almost like hit him in the back of his car, just to show him what he has done to your beautiful car. And you see, man completely ignores you, comes out, runs off the front seat, opening the back seat, and suddenly you see he's very sad, very almost in a total panic, and bringing out a child outside of the back seat, and his head split open, bleeding, and he's going and passing next to you, not even noticing you, goes in, running into the hospital. What you do? You came back into your car, realizing that this man was trying to save his son. And you created such a bad experience for yourself in such a dear situation. So, if you knew what this man was doing, and if you did not judge him so badly for the situation that he came or he's being part of, you would not suffer that much. You suddenly realize that your heart is absolutely cold because you blame this man for such a stupid things as a bumper, or as he cut you off and your ego gets upset because you get scared. So to me, that's a story about creation, where you create your own environment, where you watching a world around you unfolding, and you bringing all the negativity into the story without even questioning it, or all the negativity within you going outside and you judging every single experience that you have. How many of you would follow this man, realizing that maybe he needs some help, so let me help him? No, majority of people go into a judgment mode and start accusing others based on the previous experiences of yours, or that you've seen on the TV, or you've seen in your family. So this creation is falsified. This is a false creative narrative. The real one would be that you have enough courage to say, okay, let me allow this man to pass. Maybe he has some other very important things to do. So to me, at that moment, when you get this strength to let others do their own things without jeopardizing your ego to be totally crushed because you felt somebody cut you off, or somebody, make a physical damage on your property, you become a true mystic when you start allowing everything around you to be absolutely perfect. And you don't get involved in other people's miseries. Yes, he was rushing the way in the story how I presented it, but many people actually rushing through their life without even noticing it. They're destroying every single moment. They could be joyful, they could be compassionate, they could be friendly, by being nasty, being keeping grudges, by being judgmental, not having enough power to see within, saying, I am here to be at service to people around, by not getting involved with every single affliction that they're trying to make on you. So when you realize we are not here to help every single beggar on the street. We're here not to get upset if somebody is a beggar, or not to be judgmental if somebody is a beggar. Let them be. If you have money, if you have a willingness to help, but without judgment. So this is a part of us transmuting our judgments, our ego, into something inner, like inner self-discovery. When we discover who we really are, we can present this outside without even expectation, or anybody in this planet in your town will accept it that you are the biggest of all, you are the grandest of every single person ever lived, or you're just there to be at their service if they want to accept it. If they don't want to accept it, do you get mad? Not at all. I mean, most people do, because they live only through the ego body or ego observation of the environment. Ego means you are not a mystic. You're just a blunt robot. You're a robot who behaves as some other entities planned for you. So you can be inflicted with the traumas as well. You can inflict many other traumas to everybody around. So this world turned into, instead of self-realizations, to being presented to only a couple of very bad options that you think you have no other solution. Yet I tell you, you do. Meaning go within doesn't mean don't communicate with anybody, hide yourself in a top of the tree in the middle of the jungle. Not at all. Being a true mystic is living in an environment which is filled with traumas of, through sounds, through the things that you observe on the TV or through your computer, or information traumas, physical traumas, and you allow them to be there without judging the people that are doing these traumas to you, or yourself if you're doing these traumas to somebody else. Recognizing them and saying, I'm done with doing traumas to anybody. Because only then you will become a one who self-discovers, or who discovers itself. Because our spirit is much wiser than we give him a credit. Our physical body is absolutely brilliantly smart. Physical body, that it will not damage itself, but if your mental body is taking over and controlling everything through addictions, through bad eating, through really bad habits that become so dangerous for the physical body. And then when the physical body start reacting by being sick with a cancer or with any kind of other disease, who do you blame? Again, you're blaming everybody around. You don't want to self-reflect and say, maybe I am a cause of this illness. Maybe I'm the reason for not being healthy. Yet in any moment you can choose different. You can choose to become truly, a guidance to everybody around by being an example. Not to be afraid to recognize that your ego was driving you out of this world. Yet your spirit knows you want to stay in this world. You want to stay in this body. But this body has to become sustainable for the spirit, has to become healthy, has to become clean of judgments, clean of competition, clean of jealousy, clean of any kind of traumatic experiences through your emotional bodies. So where we end up? The answer to this question: inner self-creation. Know that everything that is around you is created by you. Bad, good, neutral. Peaceful, angry, jealous. It's all created by you.